Hey, thanks for checking out Chris's Texas Sports Podcast. I'm Chris, by the way. Now, today I'll continue my look at Texas college football teams for the upcoming season. Now, starting today, I'll take a look at two schools. The first will be the 2024 University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals and the 2024 Lamar Cardinals. Both teams called the Cardinals. Plus, we'll look at back at sports in Texas in 1970 and some Texas sports news. So let's get started. The Incarnate Word Cardinals went 9-2 last year, and they finished second in the Southland Conference. Now, you'd think that would be good enough for an at-large bid in the FCS playoffs, but it wasn't. And head coach Clint Killow said that he remembered his players crying after he broke the news to them, and he hopes that snub will be motivation for the Cardinals going into this season. They'll open at home against Northern Colorado on August 31st, and they'll open Southland play at home against the defending champion Nichols on October 12th. The Cardinals are picked to win the Southland in Dave Campbell's Texas football. They're led on the field by quarterback Zach Calzada. Calzada transferred from Texas A&M last year and earned Southland Newcomer of the Year honors. He had 19 touchdown passes for 2,598 yards. Next, we'll look at the 2024 Lamar Cardinals football team. There's a look at the other Cardinals, the Lamar Cardinals. 2 years ago, the Lamar Cardinals went 1-10, and head coach Blaine Morgan left after the season. Peter Rosamondo, that's a mouthful, was hired as new head coach, and he led the Cardinals last year to a 6-5 record, where they finished third in the Southland. The Lamar Cardinals, will open on the road at Texas State in San Marcos on August 31st, and they play their first home game against Mississippi Valley State on September 7th. And they play their first Southland game at home against SFA on October 12th. The Lamar Cardinals are picked to finish fourth in the Southland in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Now, one of their players to watch this year is running back Kalen Griffin. He transferred from Rice last year, and he finished second for the Southland rushing title to Nichols Colin Guggenheim. Now on Friday, let's look at the SFA and A&M Commerce football teams for this season. Coming up next, we'll look back at Texas sports in the year 1970. In 1970, Texas beat Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl to claim the 1969 national championship. The Longhorns would go on to repeat as Southwest Conference champions and claim a share of the national championship in 1970. Texas A&I would win the 1970 NAIA football national championship. The Cowboys would win the NFC East and go on to play in the Super Bowl for the first time in January of 1971. The Rice and Houston basketball teams both made it to the NCAA tournament. The Owls lost in the first round to New Mexico State, while the Cougars lost to Drake in the Sweet 16. Here's a look at what's going on in Texas sports right now. In baseball, the Astros' Jordan Alvarez knocked out the scoreboard at Tropicana Field in Tampa during batting practice before the Astros game with the Tampa Bay Rays. Astros pitcher Justin Verlander is going to have another rehab start on Thursday for AA Corpus at Northwest Arkansas. He's been dealing with a neck injury. Meanwhile, outfielder Kyle Tucker, who's been out with the knee contusion, he did some outfield drills. Manager Joe Espada is hopeful that both will be back soon. In the NFL, the Texans signed defensive end Ladarius Payne and cut wide receiver Jadon Janke. Running back Joe Mixon took some reps in camp for the first time. Kicker Kayami Fairbairn had a 60-yard kick in camp. The Cowboys' left tackle Chuma Edoga is going to be out for a month with a toe injury. Coach Mike McCarthy had praise for rookies in camp, including Marshawn Kneeling. In college football, Texas is ranked number 4 in the preseason AP poll. Both the Longhorns and the Houston Cougars are dealing with injuries at running back. Longhorns TJ Baxter and Christian Clark are out for the season. Baxter has a torn PCL and a torn LCL, while Clark has a torn Achilles. U of H running back Tony Mathis Jr. is out for the season. He has a torn ACL. Texas linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. is on the Butkus Award watch list. UTSA got some votes, but missed out on the AP Top 25. Texas A&M is ranked number 20 in the AP poll. The Aggies also have an injured running back, as the sophomore Ruben Owens, who had a breakout year as a freshman last year, got hurt in a scrimmage on Saturday. And there was also a battle for a quarterback at UTEP between Caden McConnell and Skylar Locklear. They had a WWE Raw at the Moody Center at UT in Austin on Monday. I watched it. Some of the highlights were the continuing battle between the Judgment Day and former members Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. The New Day's new friend Odyssey Jones beat some local guy, or some jobber, whose name I forgot. The New Day and Jones then challenged Karrion Kross and AOP to a 6-man tag match for next week's Raw. There was also a triple threat match for the number one to decide the number one contender for the women's tag titles, between Damage Control and a new faction led by Sonya Deville called the Pure Fusion Collective, with her, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. The match ended in a no contest when the current women's tag champions, the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Outlaw Dawn, interfered in the match. So that'll set up a triple threat next week for the women's tag titles on Raw next week. Anyway, also, Ron Breaker beat Sami Zayn in 2 out of 3 falls to retain the Intercontinental title. Well, I guess I'll let you go now. I know I have taken up most of your time, but I do thank you for checking out my podcast. If you like it, hit the download button. Also, leave a like or a rating, and follow and subscribe us on Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeart. My name is Chris Carlisle. I'm the host, producer, and writer for this podcast, obviously. And I'll talk to you later.